Scan them! Damn me! I want a hose on that third floor window 5 minutes ago!
Sanchez Jones, pump and dump from the north. Shapiro!
Yes, sir.
Get that ladder extended.
All right, Captain.
I want a round-trip ticket to the roof. Bloody hell, come on!
Cut.
Art is imitating life on ABC's 911. All of this on-screen drama and action is actually part of a show within the show.
Anyone have eyes on our fire chief?
It's captain, not chief.
Early on in season 8, Bobby Nash, played by Peter Krause, is working as a technical advisor on a show about firefighters. His job is to make sure they get all the firefighting stuff right.
That's because you're directing these two firefighters to suppress a fire from downwind, which you wouldn't do, and also sending guys into a crossfire.
And the character is loosely based on a real person, as Peter explains on Jimmy Kimmel Live.
I'm not the captain of the firehouse right now in the show, so I've been assigned to go be a consultant on a television series called Hot Shots.
Hot Shots?
Hot
Yeah,
Shots,
Hot
yeah.
Shots.
The show within the show, and I deal with a very involved actor.
And do you have a guy on the set who has that actual job?
We do. We have a former fire chief named Mike Bowman who helps us with our own fire emergencies on the show. So I'm sort of playing him, and not really in a way.
And does Mike think it's funny that you're playing a character based on his job now?
He does, yes. Yeah.
And this is the real life Mike Bowman, as always keeping a watchful eye on the 911 set, constantly scanning and scrutinizing. He sees to it that Hollywood portrays firefighters, what they do and how they do it in the most realistic way possible.
I'm looking that we technically do everything accurately. It's very important that we do things right and replicate what we do here in the city of Los Angeles and the LA County EMS system, that we portray that accurately.
There are times when the writers will reach out to Mike Bowman, our consultant on the show, former fire chief here in LA. And whether it's a piece of dialogue or some know-how about a certain situation, about how the firefighters would do it, they reach out to him and defer to him in the scene. So some of my more technical dialogue that I might utter about a medical case, or even calling in to dispatch for USAR, for rescue, that'll come from Mike Bowman himself, because they want it to be as authentic as possible.
And action!
So when the director yells action and the cameras start rolling, the 911 cast and crew can concentrate on their jobs, knowing that Bowman and his team are on the job, and their work does not go unnoticed or underappreciated.
The real firefighters, they bring the authenticity. So much of what we do, we have to go to them for. We have to ask them, okay, what would you do in this scenario? How would you treat them or talk to a certain patient? And as far as getting them to the hospital, what's in between that? How do we make that visible for the audience? Aside from that, they do a great job of showing what a real dressing room looks like. There we go. That's all Bowman. For some reason, Bowman said, we all just change in front of each other. I don't know. Seems a little suspect to me.
Having Chief Mike Bowman and his fellow former firefighter on set is invaluable. They show us their dedication, the loyalty, how difficult it was. They give us authenticity, and that brings such a life force to this show.
911, what's your emergency?
The truck was hauling 22 million killer bees.
There are many reasons 911 is a ratings juggernaut and popular worldwide. Being dedicated to the details is high on the list. Mike Bowman keeps his eye on even the smallest detail, and for the show, that pays off in the biggest way.
At the end of last season, I went to Europe for 3 weeks. Well, one of the days I was in Montenegro, and I wore a 911 shirt. And oh my God, I got stopped in the street by all kinds of people. I mean, they didn't speak English, a lot of them, but boy, they sure knew the show 911. This is now going on my 7th year. I was called at the end of season 1 by the fire chief to consider being the technical advisor for 911. And then right after I said I'll consider it, then I got a call from 20th Century Fox for the producers of the show, and they had me down for a series of interviews. And then they said to me that, do you have an agent? And I go, no, you're looking at it.